terminal. Really not a fan of that word. And it just hit me like walking into a brick wall. Eyes wide open, apparently wall in front of me, and I'm not paying attention. And it just knocked the wind right out of me. So I had framed everything in terms of incurable. There's not a cure right now. The good news is it should be long-lasting. Long-lasting, no, it should be slow growing. Hasn't been our experience, but it should be. So looking for ways to frame that horrible C word that affects so many in so many different forms, but cancer. And his mom says to me probably a month into it, yeah, I told the people at church that, John is terminally ill, or he's terminal. She used terminally somehow, at least sounds a little bit better than terminal, just the sound of the word. But he's terminal. Well, that was not, I just nodded and smiled and didn't show. This. And it rolled around in my head for so long. I just kept thinking. The pit of my stomach is just like in a knot and I can't comprehend. And eventually I realized I wasn't comprehending. It wasn't working for me to use that word. And you know why? Because he's not terminal. None of us are. You cannot terminate. You cannot truly end what God has breathed into life. He will transition from here to heaven. But you go down a terminal in an airport and it truly ends. It terminates. It stops. It's gone. And my husband, my soulmate, my best friend, he will move on from this existence that I understand and know. But you cannot terminate him, because God has created us to be eternal. It will feel like termination. There's no replacement. While we're here on earth, my children, living without him. But you can't terminate what God has created to be eternal. And that's why the fight against cancer, we won't really lose. He'll go home to God when God so chooses. And somehow, in a way that I don't know, because I can't, I'm not there yet. But God will bless me and my boys through this whole process. That's my promise from my Lord. And my hope is that through this experience, that anyone who is alone or surrounded by people but alone with the pain of somebody who's terminal, can really claim the fact that none of us are terminal. So know where your loved one's going when they leave this existence.